Hello, welcome. It's number 10. We made it. We're here.
Made
And
it.
today we're going to talk about the disaster class that is the U.S. men's national team. Um, if you're watching with us, welcome. Hello, FieldTalk Just. Hello, Sal. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody's in high spirits, regardless if you're following the U.S. men's national team. And to all of you that watches after, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, etc.
Good night.
All right, let's get it going. So we beat Cuba 7-0. No round of applause for that. And we go on to the next game. Last night, the U.S. men's national team loses to Canada for the first time in 34 years by a score of 2-0. Sal, give me your take first. What are we doing? What's going on?
Wasn't it 2 years almost to the day that we lost to Trinidad and Tobago?
Almost, yeah.
Almost, yeah. So it starts from the top, and I don't want to say Berhalter out because who else is there as a replacement really out there? There really isn't much to pick from the coaching pool. What are we going to do? Bring Bruce back? Bring Klinsmann back? So my whole take on it is we saw the German national team basically collapse during Euros, probably what I'd say 10, 15 years ago, that the whole team didn't make the Euros. The German FA said, you know what, we're going to blow all of this up. We're going to go from the top all the way to the bottom. It worked out for them. They won the World Cup in 2014. Something tells me that it has to happen here. We have to blow up the whole system from the top to the bottom, get Carlos Cordero out, get everyone out, start from new. But because it's so much money invested into the whole product, and it's not money that's going into the players, into the coaching, I should say, and development of the players, then what's the point? Why should we as fans even care how the team does? I see a lot of, well, back in the days of Donovan, we weren't like this. Back in so-and-so. So days are long gone now. We can't be looking back at the past and saying this was us. No, those players back there played with heart. It didn't matter who was coaching them. They went out there. They fought every play. They wanted to win. They wore that shirt with pride. How many of these players besides Christian actually look like they want to be there? We can't be saying Michael Bradley is out there. Oh, he's making us fail. We can't be saying, oh, Josie Altidore is out there making us fail. No, at this point, everyone failed us except for Christian. And if Christian said tomorrow, hey, I don't want to play anymore for the national team, I wouldn't fault him at all.
But I wouldn't blame him either. I mean, and he's only 20, so imagine if he were to come out and say that. You know what I mean? Like, there's no direction. There's no nothing. Like, there's no strict. Like, it's embarrassing. Not only was it the first time that we lost to Canada in 34 years, they haven't scored on us since 2007. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not playing like Spain or freaking Brazil or anything. This is Canada. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to take anything away from Canada, but where is this plan that we're supposed to have in place? Where is the ascension and development that we're supposed to? Because the last 10 years we've gone backwards, and not like slowly backwards. We've run backwards. Like, we're literally in reverse. You know what I mean? And I just don't see where we go, like, because this is embarrassing. Like, and I don't think it doesn't matter enough, clearly, because it's not a priority to make sure that we get the right people in place to make the right decisions. Like Sal said, it starts from the top and it trickles down to the bottom, just like with anything. And for us to consistently be going backwards when we're one of the, you know what I'm saying? We're one of the powerhouses in the world. You're telling me that we can't get the right people in place? It's not because we can't, it's because they won't. It's not a priority. And that's a problem. And if you're in the US, a US national team fan like we are and want to see the boys do good, and you see that type of stuff continuously, there's really no hope for the future because there's no plan in sight. And it's really frustrating, man. I feel like even, you get Pulisic coming off. in the 60th minute, flu-like symptoms. I don't know. It looks bad right now, man. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
Yeah, and you go back to the fact that Sal says it starts from the top or from the bottom, whichever way you want to look at it. It begins with the USSF. But and then also back to the times where we had Donovan, we had Clint Dempsey, we had Tim Howard. Those are the type of people we had on the pitch. You had DeMarcus Beasley, which by the way I once said Michael Beasley on the previous US. But okay, anyways, back to today. You had those players, and those players came to play, regardless if it was a friendly, regardless if it was like not a World Cup or a Gold Cup or invitation to the Copa America, which we once made it to the final of a Copa America. We beat Spain. You know, like we have shown that we could get there. Now we don't have the ability to maintain that or to stay consistent. That was the peak, or the peak was at least the 2014 World Cup. And then ever since then, it's just been a rapid decline. And then yesterday was just the nail on the head. Like you hit the nail on the head. It was just boom, smack in the wall. You lose to Canada for the first time in 34 years. 34 years. Like basically Canada just told us like, we're here now. Like we're better than you.
They wanted it way more than the U.S.
Yep.
They wanted it way more.
We're away. You could say we were playing away, and the crowd environment. It doesn't matter. Bro.
No excuse. No excuse.
When you play and it's a competition, you go out there to win. And I was about to say Brad Guzan for some reason. Gregg Berhalter literally didn't know what he was doing. He just threw an 11 out there, made crazy subs. Like I was telling you earlier, Justin, the assistant manager was just like, hey, pick a name out of a hat, and that's what we're going to throw out on the field. And that's what it basically looked like. You get Pulisic out, and you put Areola. Areola is right-footed. If I'm stand corrected, he was out on the left. Why are we putting a right mid on the left? And then you take out Yedlin, and I get it. He wasn't looking too good, but you put Lima in. He didn't change anything from that position point of view. And then you take out Roldan, and you leave our defensive midfield kind of clueless to put in Zardes. And it didn't do anything. Like the Zardes bias is literally murdering him little by little. Like it just doesn't make any sense. His tactics aren't working. The team doesn't respond to it. When we press, we can't pass out of our own back. We just get counterattacked because the passes are inaccurate. And amazingly, we had like 80% accuracy in passing. I don't know how the hell that works.
Yeah.
It's pathetic, man.
I don't
like if he's not working, get him out of there. But it's that connection to the money pot. He came from the MLS, and now the MLS controls. I feel like controls the USSF, and so they just bring him in. And and to say the majority of his players are MLS players. Nothing against that, but look at Serginho Dest. He doesn't even know if he wants to play with us anymore. And the way that we're playing,
he's not.
Yeah, he's not going to play anymore, I don't think.
Yeah. You rather battle it out with whoever's going to be the left back for the Netherlands. Or he might just switch over and play right back for them because that spot's open.
I mean, can you blame him at this point, though?
But the thing is, we can't blame him, but we need to give those players that are playing in other leagues that have who's going to fill in for us once Yedlin is gone. Lima? He didn't look anything too crazy.
I don't know.
I blame
Cannon was just sitting there on the bench. There are so many people on the bench that could have done something different. And like I said, he picked a name out of a hat. Him and his assistant manager were just playing a game, and it was all good. And we just sat there and just accepted it.
I'll put blame on the whole coaching search after Bruce left, after the whole shambles. How many got interviewed for the job? Really? Was there real interviews? And that's it goes there. So you have the very top, with Carlos Cordero. He gets elected, however sham that worked. But
that's a whole nother thing entirely.
yeah, so he gets in there, and Gregg's brother is in there. I forgot what Gregg's brother does for U.S. Soccer, but he's there. And it always seemed like it was his job to take. Whether he was going to take it or not, it was up to him. But there was no real coaching interviews to see what style we were going to play. The style Gregg wants to play is the same style that Columbus plays, and you honestly need a preseason and an entire season to work that style out. We don't have the players to play out the back. Doesn't matter what. This player pool is not for that. It's either going to be an attacking team or, it's going to have to be an attacking pressing team with the players that we have. But how many players actually can press the ball out of, what would I say, a pool of 22 players, let's say? How many of those players can actually press the ball?
So this is what I want to ask you though, Sal. Like, because I'm conflicted. What is one of the major issues? Is it an ability issue, like as far as tactics and technical ability, or is it a coaching, like a systematic thing? Because we were talking earlier, me and Mario, and it's not that we don't have the ability, even though sometimes it seems like we lack, but is it more of the coaching, or is it the lack of ability, or is it a combination of both?
I'm saying it's a combination of it and the players who don't have the heart for it. Because watching Gregg in the MLS, he was bred through the LA Galaxy system. He was meant to go and coach and then come back to the LA Galaxy. That was the whole deal with Gregg, to come back home and be our coach after Bruce had left. Of course, other factors played into that, but he went to Columbus and he took Columbus as far as he could get them to. He made Zardes into a comeback player of the year as well. You can't be doing what you do in Columbus with the national team. How many weeks do you actually have to practice with these players, especially if they are international players as well coming in from Europe? You have at least 2 weeks. The system isn't meant for that. I mean, you can look at Spain, you can look at the Netherlands, you can look at every European powerhouse. Who plays out of the back? How many of those teams play out of the back compared to, we're going to pass you to death, or we're going to press you to death, or we're just going to park the bus and defend until you make a mistake? That's the whole thing. Then the players, I mean, if you're going to come in and play and you don't like the system, then don't even come into the camp. I'm sure there's plenty of other players in the MLS who want to be part of this national team and who will play with heart. And that's my biggest gripe is that. Bring in players who want to play, and at least we can try. If we lose 2-1, okay, there's no, shit, as long as those players were trying. But we were not trying at all yesterday. Every 50-50 ball, it was there. It was Canada's. What's wrong with you guys? It's a contact sport too. I mean, are you afraid to get your nails broken or what?
It's just like you mentioned. Brazil has their way, their system. Spain does. France does. Everybody does. We don't have one. Every time we get a new coach or a new manager, whatever you want to call it, it changes. We look different. Before, back in the day, we used to do the long ball. That was our thing. We just sent it up, hooked it. And then Klinsmann brought about a passing kind of game, and it looked good. We had Clint Dempsey. We had Bradley when he was somewhat decent. And then we had the fullbacks to execute and push forward and do all that kind of stuff. And Zuzi when he was good. Like we had a plan. He put something in motion, stuck with it, and the players followed through. Now I don't even know what it is. It's a different formation, or it's a different 11. Like, he doesn't stay consistent. And then if you're not consistent, we're not gonna find any type of rhythm, any form, any this. And the pressing was good. When we get the ball back, miss pass or a horrible pass, and they get the counter. And it's just like, what's the point? And then we're passing the ball, we're holding it. That's why we have 57% possession. Yedlin switches to play a field. he gives basically away. He gives the ball away, or the control is so horrible that they get possession and they hit us in the counter. It's just like it's part tactic and I agree with you, Sal. It's both. It's part tactic and part ability. The players that you pick at these positions either don't have the ability to play it or the technical ability to play it. And then when you throw in your tactics and your philosophy and all that stuff, if they're not technically sound to do that system that you want to run, it's not going to work. And It goes to show, and it shows there on the field. Like, we have so many other players. Give them a chance. Like McKinney or Tyler Boyd. You could have put him on the left. You know what I'm saying? Like Areola. Like, I know you don't want to take out Jordan Morris. Great player. He's had a great season in Seattle. He's revamped himself after that injury. Great. And he was showing you last night why he's a good player. But we don't have the other pieces in place. And then the system that Gregg Berhalter wants to run is just doesn't work. And like you said, we don't have time. A camp is not long enough. An international break is like you sleep and you wake up and it's gone. It's just like, you know, I don't know. It's just disheartening. It's saddening. It's depressing. It's frustration built up to the max.
My thing was, it should have been Jesse Marsh's job from the beginning. He plays a style that I like, and we see with Salzburg, but he's being groomed now to take over Leipzig. He's not going to want to take over this job when he's still young in coaching. And if he takes over, if he goes into Leipzig, how often are they going to be in Champions League ball? They're going to be playing Champions League ball probably year in and year out. So why are you going to take the US when it's a complete cluster bomb of politics? When you can go to the Bundesliga, you're going to have run of that team. I see no point. Any coach that's going to come in is a puppet for the system. And if you're not following the system, then
exactly, that's the thing. It's a merry-go-round of the same managers. That's why we saw Bruce come back. That's why, who was it that came after Bruce?
After Bruce was his assistant. I'm trying to think of his name.
Didn't Michael Bradley's dad coach at one point?
Yeah. So here's the thing with Bob. Bob got fired for 2 losses. One was the Gold Cup final to Mexico, and I forgot the other one, but they were just 2 losses which were unacceptable to the US. And US Soccer went, you know what? You lost to Mexico in the final 2-1, or it was something like that, 1-0, 2-1. But you lost to Mexico. Now you're on the hot seat. If you lose your next game, you're gone. Lost the next game, he was gone. And that's when Klinsmann came in. So I don't know how Gregg is getting.
Exactly.
Explain it to me. Explain it to me. So Berhalter should have got fired in the middle of the Canada game.
He should have gotten fired as soon as you lost to Mexico 3-0.
Exactly.
That's what
it was a bludgeoning. It wasn't a loss. They completely destroyed us out there.
Outclass. Just
in every way. Outcoached everything.
With B team players, no offense to them, but they wouldn't make the starting 11. So they're B team players, and they just totally outplayed us, outclassed. And that's the thing. I wish I had that lineup, but like what I was telling you earlier, Justin, and I'll tell everybody now, his tactics are trash. Canada's like, hey, 4-2-3-1, and he's like, oh, you know what, 4-2-3-1, and I know that's kind of what we usually play. We like the wings. We like to have our little defensive midfield holding and all that stuff, but you gotta change it up a little bit. Give us with the players that you have sitting on the bench, give me a 4-3-3. To be honest, like I would be okay. I didn't really mind Bradley yesterday. I really didn't. I don't really have much to say against Bradley. I guess I haven't seen what you've seen. Like, and it's just like, you know, maybe I was just paying attention to some other part of the field at that instant. I don't know. But put him as a holding. You got Sebastian and what's his face? Hold on, I have it here. Sebastian or no, put Will Trapp instead of Bradley.
Bradley, yeah.
Then give me Sebastian and put Roldan with him or something up top in a little pyramid like this.
Because Sebastian is supposed to be Pulisic's replacement. That's why he's there, to take over that spot. Once you give Christian 70 minutes, 75 minutes, there you go. Go in there, Sebastian. Take over. So all right, I have it here. I have Bob Bradley here. So he was fired right after the U.S. got beat by Spain 4-0. And then after they lost the Gold Cup 4-2. And that's after losing. After losing to Panama 2-0.
But it's all top to bottom. It's you know what I mean? Like, that's like Bradley's like the scapegoat. Like, oh yeah, everybody's hot now that we're losing. Let's fire him because it's his fault, when it's really 3 steps above that. But I want to go to the ability thing too, and this goes back to Klinsmann, because like now Klinsmann like seems like a godsend almost at this point. But some of the stuff, I mean, he wasn't fully successful.
Klinsmann is the Mourinho for the USA national.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. Like, a lot of people, when he got let go, a lot of people were calling for it, as if I remember correctly. Like, people were calling for it, but I don't know. As far as the mindset that he had, as far as developing the player, because this just pisses me off. I already talked to you earlier about mine. The thing that he had in his mind about developing the talent here is he knew that we had the ability and the athleticism to compete, but in order to develop into top-notch players and develop top-notch ability, he wanted them to play overseas with top-notch competition, which to me, I think that makes perfect sense, and it's almost obvious. That makes perfect sense. They play the best ball. Let's send our guys over there, let them develop, so then when we call them up, they have experience with some of the best players, the best countries in the world. You know what I'm saying? This is the world game. And if they're playing it better than we are and developing better than we are, why not send our guys over there, let them develop that way, and then do it like that? Or bring somebody in from Europe that can help the development. This is the thing. It's not hard to do. There's no willingness to do it. There's no priority. USA soccer is not a priority in the country itself. So, and then I feel like Klinsmann took a lot of heat because he went against MLS for wanting the stars to develop overseas, when MLS is like, nah, well, if we want to build the brand, the best players have to stay here, which I get that. That makes sense. But now in the long haul, you see it's hurting us as a country when it comes to the world game. So I guess my question to both of y'all, and you guys could take it, whichever in order you want, but would you take Klinsmann back right now?
You want to go? I go.
You go.
Well, me personally, I would take Klinsmann or someone like Klinsmann, because if you notice the trend here, other than Klinsmann, who's not really like American, like Bob Bradley,
right?
Again, Bruce Arena, kind of like, then now we have Gregg Berhalter, and so like he brought a different mindset, and it wasn't to par. You know what I'm saying? He said promotion, relegation, and they're like, oh no.
Which is another thing I kind of agree with.
Oh no, we can't do that, and it's true though. Mm-hmm. It's true. It brings out a certain competitiveness in players, in teams. It changes the whole dynamic, the money, the sponsorship, the kit deals. It goes on and on. There's so much to it.
Trickle down effect from all of it, yeah.
But the soccer Don, I forget his real name, but that's his name on Twitter. Huh?
Don Garber.
There you go. The soccer Don Garber. Which that right there sounds like a mob name.
Yeah,
like a mafia.
It does.
Like, yeah, I'm the leader of this. I got all the money.
Right.
And it's just like, bro, it's like that goes to show you right there that those types of people don't want to change this dynamic. And I get it. Playoffs are fun. It brings a lot more into the fan bases and stuff like that. But that's an American way of thinking. And football, or European football, or Spanish football, whatever you want to consider it,
everywhere else in the world but in America,
it's a different dynamic. Yeah, like I think Colombia does it. So does La Liga, the Mexican League. They do playoffs, but they still have promotion and relegation. Find a way to do it that way then. If you want to keep your playoffs, keep your playoffs.
Right.
I personally, I'm not a big fan, but then again, hey, yeah, your team does get a chance. So it's 50-50 for me. It's like I want to say no and I want to say yeah. But at the end of the day, teams need to have ultimatum, I guess, of sorts. Like you can go down to a lower league.
Mm-hmm.
And then those players are like, well, if my team goes down to a lower league, I might not be getting recognition to get call-ups.
Right.
Like I said, I'd rather a player from the second league in England than the USL. And it's not the USL's fault. It begins with the USSF because they just don't care about any of all that. And the MLS doesn't care. And you know why? Because it's not making the money. It's these little clubs that if you know about it, then you go watch them because you want to support them. It's like a hometown team. You know, it's like your high school team in a sense. They're so small. And then because they're so small, they're not going to get sponsorship deals out of the wazoo like Audi and BMW and all that stuff. Right. You know what I'm saying? But that's what MLS cares about. They don't care about the guys that are really putting it in there, trying to make the dream come true. And those are the guys we forget about. And now we're stuck with this.
So you're definitely So you're definitely you're definitely Klinsmann in because I just brought out a whole bunch of them.
Klinsmann or Klinsmann like.
Okay. So Klinsmann in. Who's Klinsmann like?
Against the system that is the MLS or the soccer Don mafia guy.
Got you. What about you, Sal?
He had the right idea. Klinsmann did. I'd take him over anyone. He got fired for the wrong reasons, and even when people still talk, but he left Donovan off the squad, he had his reasons. There was still a reason why you did that, and to say that U.S. soccer didn't see something great during that era, yeah, and everything he talked about back then, we're seeing it now. All our best young talent is going into Europe, especially into the Bundesliga. Why don't we set up something with the Bundesliga where MLS players can at least go into Europe if you're the best? Right. Alphonso Davies from Canada, where is he playing now? Bayern. He's on the squad regularly. Every match that he is on that squad. So no wonder they balled us out last night as well.
Right.
I mean, MLS, as much as I love it, that money that is invested into the product, the money that the owners spend to get the stadiums built, to get the team franchised into it, there has to be a breakdown somewhere, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen until we miss the World Cup, and especially in our own home country, which I doubt we'll do it in another, 6 years. But there's just so much to say about this.
Well, yeah, like basically the World Cup, we're probably just going to be like, oh, we got the free invite. But why are we going to want to put this product out there? We're hosting, we're a co-host, and we're going to be the crappiest of co-hosts. Like, people are going to be like, oh, they only playing because they got invited because they're hosting it or they're one of the host countries. Yeah, that's so true. And please enjoy the trash that we put on the field. I could literally just put 11 trash bins out there and be like, go.
And don't forget the trash bin on the sideline, too, for the coach.
Yeah, and I hate to say that because
me too. I understand.
Christian is in trash. Jordan Morris is in trash. Even Zach Steffen last night actually showed me something. And I was like, you know what? He shut me up. But it's sad that we let up 2 goals that he gets scored on after making good saves. We were down 1-0. It could have been 3-0, to be honest, at the end, because he made this one crazy save. Like, after Long got somewhat beat, he was just racing back, his butthole really tight because he's getting burnt. And Zach Steffen stops it, a one-on-one, sort of a one-on-one. And then a deflected ball that Long actually got a foot to, and he stopped that. Like, I don't want to be calling those players trash. Like, I feel bad, but
yeah, this is hard.
Yeah, man,
this is hard, man. It's a frustrating thing, and like, honestly, I'll leave it at this as far as the U.S. soccer goes. What is it that has to change for there to actually be change? Like, what has to happen for somebody to get in here and try to make, steer this thing in the right direction, because clearly it's not a priority. Nobody gives a damn enough about it. So what's going to change in the next, 6 years, 10 years, whenever that World Cup comes when we host with Canada? What about now shows us that we're going to be prepared for anything like that?
Nothing.
I don't see it.
At the moment,
I don't see it, bro.
There's too much money going to people that shouldn't be getting that money, and they don't care about the product. And when you have pay to play for the kids to get into, there's no way you're going to have kids coming up.
About this before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So where do we see ourselves? I mean, it's always going to be a runaround of, at least we're going to, if Gregg is let go of, who's the next great American coach out there? We're going to bring that guy in. He's going to bring his system in.
Oh.
That system, how is that system going to work with these players? What? Yeah,
but you see, that's the sad part about it all. Another coach is going to come in, most likely American, because the MLS will be like, hey, the MLS and the USF are basically the same. So if I say MLS, it's just and they're gonna bring somebody, and he's gonna be like, yeah, this is my plan, and blah blah, and they're gonna throw their little talk to him, and he's gonna be like, okay, like I'll try to run with it. That's why Klinsmann was looked upon so badly, because he was like promotion relegation, and they're like, oh, you're talking all this crazy.
Yeah, you're talking crazy.
We can't do that. We're not paying you for that.
And he's the only person in the room that was talking sense at the time.
Yeah, but the thing is, you bring in a new coach, most likely American. He brings a system, but the thing is, the USA has to find a system that it starts from the root. Your 10-year-olds, 11, 12, 13, going up. And they know to play that system. It might work, it might not. You find a system and you stick with it. You make it the USA's system. Spain plays a certain way. Why? Because they breed a certain type of players to fit a system.
And they develop them to play that.
Brazil,
it's just the
Samba,
development.
Samba stays. Samba never goes. You know what I'm saying? It could be the dancing. It could just be the passing or the technical skills, the Ronaldinhos, the Robinhos, the Ronaldos. You're getting, they live on this one-on-one. I'm going to beat you personally, but it's going to make the team better as a whole. You know what I'm saying? It's just France. Well, France has basically found their key, their golden ticket, Mbappe and a great defense. Anytime France has a great defense, France has always been a top dog.
Exactly.
And they have that. Look at England now. They finally found the secret. Start making the youth better.
Yep.
Hudson-Odoi, Sterling, Rashford. Look at them in this international break, balling.
Madison, and
we don't have something for the younger kids to start growing into. It's just, this guy got fired. This is what we're doing now, and it follows down. I tried taking classes for the U.S. to get my licenses. It's crap. And then I have to pay a buttload of money to go travel 6 hours from my house. So now I'm wasting my own money to try to follow your guys' criteria. Why don't you just have a freaking teaching right in my backyard? And then when I auditioned to play for the U.S. national team, I made it to a certain point, and they're like, "Hey, you have money?" No, I don't. My family's not that rich. Peace out, deuces.
I'll back Mario on that. I have my C license for U.S. soccer. That shit ran me about $5,000 already. So it's
crazy.
Why am I paying so much? I can't even get to coach AYSO because they still want more. And I'm like, why do I have to pay to coach when I just want to do it and get these kids going? And when I coach at the park, everyone has such a different system. When you get kids, they're just like, but we weren't playing this system. Well, all the coaches got to get together and work a system, but no one wants to get together and work out a system where that park is just going to run one system against another. So it all trickles down, like you were saying. It's just, I'll end it with this. I'm looking at FIFA's world rankings right now. We are in 21st place. Canada is not even in the top 50.
Like, oh my God.
We shouldn't be either, to be honest with you. But
Now we should.
that's a whole nother discussion.
Flip-flop with Canada, to be honest.
Right. And that's the thing. To me, it's a shame that I root for Brazil like I'm freaking Brazilian. You know what I mean? Because U.S. soccer has never given me anything. I mean, they've given me moments to hold on to and hope, but they always let me down. And it's sad. You know what I mean? Like I want to root for my country like I cheer for Brazil. I'm not Brazilian, but that style of play is what got me into the game, and it helped turn me into the fan that I am today, the way that they play ball. And, you know, the last thing I'll say on it is just, it's a shame that, you know, it just looks like we're going to continue to come here and, you know, say the same things about U.S. soccer not having any direction. And until it becomes a priority like the NFL or basketball or even baseball or things like that, until it becomes that type of priority in the country, we're going to see the same thing. Just throw a little dirt and a Band-Aid on it and we'll get through it. We'll win a couple of games. We'll stick in a couple of games. People will be happy. But that's really all I got to say about it, man.
I'm gonna say 5 things, but it might be more, it might be less. 1, I apologize that we're so negative on our 10th episode. It's not our fault.
Right. This is supposed to be a happy day.
2, the U.S. is putting a priority on this football, soccer, like they do other sports. It's the money. They see the USA national basketball team. They go to the Olympics. They ball out. Well, guess what? Those are all big time paid players. They got Nike deals, Adidas, whatever that they're trying to mimic these other organizations or associations that the U.S. has. It doesn't work this way for us. It's different. We have there's a same amount of players for each sport in the USA. There really is. When you go all the way down to the 2-year-olds or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just we don't pick the right ones and we exclude the good ones based on this money system that we have. And it's just trash. 3, the Twitter of the U.S. men's national team was talking about a revenge match. Throw that in the recycling bin, please.
Yeah, get them out of here, man.
It's a waste of my time. I'm not going to retweet it. I'm not going to like it. I might comment to you and be like, you're full of it, because we might just see the same thing, another loss. Is the crowd miraculously going to boost us to 3 goals? I don't think so. We might not even have a crowd. We might have half of a crowd. It might be more Canadians, depending on where the actually it's in Orlando. So who knows? The snowbirds might have already made their way down and, you know, filling up the sorry stadium that Orlando has over there. I only say sorry because I'm an Inter Miami fan. So it's pathetic, man. I don't know what to say. Like I said, I just apologize that we had to do it today.
Yeah.
On this beautiful
10th
milestone. I know it's a small milestone, but come on, man. I wanted to spread some joy. Maybe Berhalter was the guy, but it's not. We need to fix it. We need to fix it fast. That's all I can say.
I don't see that happening, man.
Yeah. All right, so Canada is in 75th place.
You could have just left that out.
Yeah.
But like it just goes to show where we're at, and where we're going. And it's just unfortunate, man.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't want to talk about it anymore.
Ever since the World Cup, we haven't been the same. We don't know when we're going to be the same. I'm talking to you guys out there. I really don't. And I guess I'm done. We're done.
Yeah, we're all done here.
Yeah.
I apologize if you wanted to hear something good, some good news, but there isn't any, and there won't be. Even if we win, guess what? We play Cuba again.
Yeah, get excited about that.
Everyone beats Cuba. Come on.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Canada scored the same amount of goals against Cuba, just so you know. FYI. So.
Oh my God. Follow at FieldTalk _ Benzie, at SouthTalk Soccer, at FieldTalk _ FieldTalk. I want to be more upbeat. We coming always with more content, but this just, I don't know, man.
Yep.
Well, Sal's speechless. That's where we're leaving it at. But we'll be back next week. Premier League is back. Well, every league is back. Hooray! International break is finally over.
Thank God.
I'm trying to be somewhat upbeat here.
Yeah, we might have some coverage of MLS playoffs, right? You guys were talking about some.
Yeah, for any MLS fans, me and Sal will probably get into it a little bit. By the way, look at this. Ooh.
One of the favorites,
Seattle,
I'd say one of the favorites.
It's my last year. You'll probably see a goodbye on the YouTube channel. My Seattle goodbye. Since next season, my hometown is actually going to have a football team. So I look forward to that.
I cannot wait for that.
Thank you guys for watching. If you did, if you want to leave us a comment, if you don't like what we said, or if you have your own opinion about what we said, please leave it down below, good or bad. I don't care. Let us know how you feel. We, as you can tell, the whole video, we do not feel great. So thank you for sticking with us. Thanks, Sal. Thank you, Jess. Justin gave you our Twitter handles. I will leave it in the link below, in the description below. You guys have a good night, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. If you're watching this later, peace out, people. Bye.